Morning. Yes, the report's in from Chris Tatum. He or she of non-gender specific name. I've actually marked out, not upheld the complaint, of course, obviously. I've actually marked out some bits now, so I'm not jumping back and forward so much. Because really, if I get through this without laughing my head off, it's fucking hysterical. It's gone back to August 2016 now, actually. Apparently, I attended St Ives Police Station to be voluntary interviewed, but I don't think it was that voluntary, really. The fact that you found me in the basement of the court cells would suggest that you knew I was there and it was all set up, wouldn't it? More of that later, though. I was reported for offences. I'm afraid you've dropped yourself in it a bit here. Mate. Or love. Not quite sure. Mr. Dacus did not appear and a failed to appear warrant was issued and executed on the 26th of November when Mr. Paul Dacus was arrested. But there was no warrant because we had many discussions about this and you decided at the police station that you didn't need a warrant for an indictable offence because you were above the law. And thereafter the CPS went and had a little cosy meeting with Judge Enright, who told me I wasn't allowed to make a complaint to the court or write to the court or speak to any court official ever, and changed the charges. So you just fucking lied about that. A further unconnected, a new allegation of malicious communications was made against Paul Dacus on the 13th of December. Well, it wasn't really that unconnected because it was Chris Green again, wasn't it? It was the same person. So they're pretty much connected. Because let's face it, what you were looking for here was the second count of harassment so you could send me to jail and have me killed. Really, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yes, it was. You know it was. So that, you've lied again there. My God, the email to the IPCC is going to be 30 pages fucking long on this one. I haven't even started getting going yet. Go make a coffee, press pause, go make a coffee, get a beer, whatever. Seriously. The recording of the phone call from PC Harmon, remember that? PC Harmon, liar, confirmed. They produced that in court. You couldn't fucking hear anything. All you heard was like me saying hello and goodbye, and all the rest of it was all. That was all you got from my end. That was presented in court. Oh God, that magistrate must have hearing like a fucking owl to make a decision on that. That was how they determined I refused to attend a court interview. And then later PC Harmon changed her story and said the words I was using made it look like I wasn't going to attend. I think she'd forgotten that she'd refused in court's evidence. Never mind. More on that later, actually. Done a bit here. My aim is that this investigation is impartial, fair and reasonable. But you clear everyone of everything. Or you just lose desk sergeants. Ensuring transparency, yes. Very important that. On the 2nd of January, I've updated Mr. Dacus of my role as the investigator and sent him the terms of reference, which I never signed. So don't be making out like I did. And then it goes into when he sent me the memory stick. So then, like, I'm not kidding, there must be 7 pages of absolute fucking dribble in an attempt to distract me. Firstly, I have looked to establish what the role of the police is. I don't know. Professional Standards Department of Cambridgeshire Police don't know what the police do. We've found 4 things I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to do the last one, which is bringing offenders to justice. Unless, of course, the Huntingdonshire District Council, who can steal taxpayers' cash for 25 years, sticking £5,000 a time in their back pocket, getting free holidays and buying cars. They don't prosecute those people. So they've got here that I was taken to court under Section 1 of the Malicious Communications Act 1988. No, that was the one that was dropped. That was the one that was dropped when you found out it was an indictable offence and you didn't have a warrant and you sent the CPS to have a cosy little meeting with Judge Enright. And I'll bet £5,000 you never expected me to turn up to that. Bad luck. So they've now listed as well the actual charges that eventually presented to the court. So that's all wrong. Not very bright, are you? Tatum, horse face. They've done a whole big bit on pace. Not fucking interested, really. I know what pace is. I can fucking read. They've done a bit on necessity criteria for arrest, meaning of arrest. Fuck. Human Rights Act 1988. It's fucking endless. Article 5, right to liberty and security. There's a good bit in here. The part that is relevant to this complaint is the lawful arrest or detention of a person effected for the purpose of bringing them before the competent legal authority. Oh. You mean like Judge Enright, who says I'm not allowed to complain to the court or write to the court or talk to any court staff ever? That's competent legal authority, is it? Sorry. And let's face it never was a lawful arrest or detention anyway. In fact, you kept me in the cells for 3 days because I questioned the validity of the arrest. That's because you're a bunch of Nazi fuckfaces. They've even put articles of law in here. In one UK case, Brogan versus United Kingdom, it was held that although a person is arrested in order to put them before a competent authority, there is no requirement to actually bring them before such an authority, and that in accordance with Section 30(7) of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, when the grounds for detaining a person cease, they must be released as soon as possible. Well, you didn't have to keep me in the cells all weekend, did you? If, as you say, I'd missed the court, you could have quite happily released me, and I could have come back on Monday. There was no reason for you to suspect that I wasn't going to come back on Monday. So you've just broken your own fucking law. Dear IPCC. Article 6, right to a fair trial. This is education. This is like when I went for the council tax and when they put me in the court, there was me, the council bloke and the magistrate told me if I kept on talking, i.e. trying to offer a legal defence, I'd be sent to jail. Well, he didn't tell me that, but, you might as well have done. And then the council and bloke and the magistrate had a good old chuckle between them and sorted out what time they were going down the pub that night. That seems like a fair trial, doesn't it? Everyone charged with a criminal offence must be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Yes, well, in interview with Cambridge Police, which is on the channel, it is funny how you keep referring to when it's going to court and not if. Honestly. He does you remember the bloke, I forget his name now, Paul Rogerson, I think. Inspector Paul Rogerson, who said that I should have known I was being arrested because I got in the back of a marked police vehicle with uniformed officers present. Right? He's done a Paul Rogerson because he refers to that. And it's even better than Paul Rogerson's. I don't know if it's a he or a she. What is your name? Chris Tatum Horseface, is it? Oh, I'll find it in a bit. Article 8 of the Human Rights Act. Right to respect for private life and family life. Everyone has the right to respect for their private life, family life, their home, correspondence. There must be no interference by a public authority with the exercise of this right, except... Well, is that why you kept stealing my fucking mail then, is it? You fucking wankers. As in accordance with law and is, get this, you'll love this, necessary in a democratic society. Oh. Right, so he's then done a whole bit, or she, police systems, tell me all about the Force computer and why that's all set up. Crime file, that's a system where they keep all this stuff on. I mean, this is fascinating stuff. Malicious communications crime. I have reviewed this crime report in full. The crime report shows that Mr. Dacres was interviewed voluntarily on the 5th of August 2016. A decision to report for prosecute was agreed by a gatekeeper. Who would that be, I wonder? I thought that was in Ghostbusters. They've got the keymaster and the gatekeeper, haven't they? So they then go into the bit that they've forwarded the case to court. And then at the end it says, the crime report has been updated that a warrant has been issued for the arrest of Mr. Dacres and also records his arrest. But this is August 2016. There was no arrest. Because I should have known I was being arrested because I got in the back of a marked police vehicle with uniformed officer present. So the gatekeepers just lied. And it goes back, PC Harmon bleating on again. The suspect has refused to attend for a voluntary interview. Well, that's not what you said when I got the letter from Professional Standards the other week. You said the language I was using made it sound as if I wasn't going to attend. Make up your mind, love. See how this crossing over thing works? See how the police are fucking themselves up the ass right now? I love this bit because this is... Now, the phone call was January 6th last year. I was arrested for that on March the 24th. Say arrested, I was kidnapped. So that is now... They're now talking about the most recent case. March 24th. I was questioned. It was sent for court, right? Appeared in court the next day. Given until March the 25th, shall we? There is a time limit of 6 months for prosecutions to be heard. April, May, June, July, August, September. Oh, you took me to court in November, so you've acted fucking unlawfully again. Dear IPCC, don't worry, all this will be going off. So yeah, they've broken the law again. What would it be actually? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So that would it was over 9. It was over 8 months. Over 8 months, yes. It then said under prosecution files, a heading of prosecution files. Don't know why that's in there. I think that they're trying to suggest that they had meetings with the CPS rather than just, sorting it all out over the phone. He and his solicitors will be provided details of the prosecution case. Well, yes, I was 2 weeks before it happened. Sign for receipt of any... Don't know what that is. Well, I did, because you sent it recorded mail, so I did sign for it technically. They told me why a summons is issued. Serving a summons, criminal procedures. A court can proceed with hearing the case against the person in their absence, provided that service of a summons can be proved. Well, I forget her name, I'd have to go back through the paperwork, but the woman who actually said that she sent the summons out didn't sign her court statement. So that's not been proved. So you're fucking wild about that as well. I think that's about it. Oh no, God, yes, he did actually speak to PC Harmon, allegedly. Or she did speak to him. And asked PC Harmon why... Sorry, that covers the microphone, doesn't it? Why the evidence was pretty much inaudible. And she said, just that nothing has been tampered with. I don't have anything else I can say, as I have said it all. I think you pretty much have, love. You've changed your story at least once. But apparently, and do listen to it, it's not very long. I think it was called PC Harmon Liar Confirmed. Both footages, because they're saying the police footage is the same as mine, and that's the footage that took to court, which I covered earlier. Both footages do have some parts which are inaudible. Yes, everything in the middle after I said hello and before I said goodbye. Of course, she was also cleared on that of wrongdoing. She was also cleared on saying that I had refused to attend on that recording. And now she's changed her story anyway. Yes, it was section 127, 1A and 3 of the Communications Act. I think you'll find that's what I was taken to court for, because that offence is not indictable and does not require a warrant. And that's why you changed it to that after you arrested me without a warrant on the original indictable offence. That makes sense, doesn't it? And here's the gold. Here's the comedy gold. Remember what I said about Inspector Paul Rogerson? Mr. Dacus has the belief that as he was not originally arrested and charged, then he should not be summoned. This belief, I have to respectfully say, is not correct. If a person is interviewed by the police in connection with criminal proceedings, then a summons can follow if a prosecution is sought. So forget all that stuff about being read your rights and everything. The police don't need to do that. As long as they get you either in the back of a marked police van with uniformed officers present or you attend a voluntary interview, that's it, you're fucked. You don't need to be read your rights or anything. I'm fucking going to call this one. I'll see you all later.